Well, we made hard work of it, but Manchester City are through to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. We still could defend the trophy that we won last season, but Aro Muric there, coming up the hero. But before I go too far, as you've noticed, this channel is sponsored by OneFootball in the month of December. So if you want to download the best football app on the market, in my personal opinion, and it's free, do click the link in the description below and you can check out all the stats that happened during the game. But let's get on to the actual match report. Yes, it wasn't a great game of football, but we did just about enough. In general, it wasn't a good performance. That moment that Kevin De Bruyne and Magic aside, there's basically nothing to go, nothing to enjoy from this game really. A couple of nice performances from a couple of the youngsters. I thought in general, Aro Muric obviously did himself no harm at all there with a very big display in the penalty shootout. For Eric Garcia, at 17 years old in his competitive debut, to be that composed, fair play to him. He's a hell of a young prospect there. Obviously a leader. I love the way that he's so vocal as well on the pitch, and he did himself proud, I thought, in this game. Phil Foden as well. The best thing I can say about Foden is that he's starting to blend into the team, to the fact that you don't even notice he's there, and I mean that as a compliment. You know the way that you watch a senior player and you don't even notice they're there because you're so used to watching them. It's getting to that stage now with Foden. He's played about 20 games for the first team and he's starting to be part of that squad. I'm not saying he had a great game, but he's definitely now part of the first team squad. You can tell he feels at home. He seems to get more and more composed every game. But other than that, there wasn't really that many positives to take from the game. It was the kind of display you get when you make so many changes. But even then, you still expect more from some of the senior players, given their value, given their experience, given their ability. I'll start with Aguero. I thought Aguero was nowhere near match fit. I thought he looked at totally lacking sharpness, some poor decision making, some poor finishing. In general, he looked half the player that Gabriel Jesus looked at the weekend. I'm sure he'll get there because it takes a while to get his match speed up, but it wasn't a good performance. Mahrez, I thought, was largely really bad as well. I don't know if it was a Leicester thing because he played against his former club, but time and time again he made the wrong decision in my opinion. Time and time again he just kind of lacked quality when it mostly mattered. He should have scored in this game today, but he didn't. In general, it was a performance that he'll forget. Walker's in a bad run of form at the moment. I discussed in the last video how I've got a theory that he's just overworked and he needs some rest because he can't focus on the small things at the moment, and I think that's from overthinking and tiredness. In general, a lot of information over the past year and a half to take in, and I think he needs a rest, and you can see it in his performances. We need Danilo back as soon as possible. Zinchenko just carries on being Zinchenko at left back. I like the lad, I genuinely do, and I say this every single time, but he just can't defend. He just can't defend. He's not a natural left back, no, but it still doesn't make it any less of a risk, the fact that he's not a natural left back. We still get the negative side of it, unfortunately. I don't blame him for being poor there, but it's still that problem. We can't keep playing there because every single time we do, we're taking a risk, and it's come off, unfortunately, as well. Otamendi alongside him looks to have turned into the Otamendi of 2 years ago. There's no communication between him and Zinchenko, the left back. I do feel sorry for him having to mind that huge gap between him and Zinchenko, but he's an experienced defender and he should not be outplayed by the young 17-year-old centre back to his right. Just wasn't a great game for him at all. Stones in general was okay. He's not a defensive midfielder, so give him that caveat, but once again you expect a little bit more when the game matters from a player of his seniority there. Kevin De Bruyne scored an absolutely beautiful goal, like drag back that little turn on that rocky of a shot. That's the Kevin De Bruyne we've been missing. But his overall game, it wasn't perfect. It was an okay performance, but he is still trying to regain his match fitness. There was a few passes that he definitely would have made if he had a bit more game time, because his radar was slightly off. But I just wasn't really impressed with the senior players, unfortunately. I thought Sterling came on and did absolutely nothing, but it didn't really matter in the end. Brahim, I will touch on him. To me, he played like a player, a little bit frustrated, if I'm being totally honest. He did try and do too many things himself. He didn't get involved in the team side of the game as much as he usually does. Brahim's definitely got a bit of a solo attitude in terms of he likes to dribble, but that's no problem for attacking midfielder usually, or attacking winger even. But he was a bit more so today than normal, in my personal opinion. People were saying on Twitter he doesn't look as ready or as talented as Foden. I would argue that he's taken Foden about 20 games and a year of exposure to matchday squads in game times here and there to start looking like he properly belongs in this first team. Brahim, on any of the other youngsters, have had nowhere near that same exposure. It could be that Brahim had 20 appearances now, he'd be around that similar level too. We won't ever know, unfortunately, but I think you can't really tell until you get the same level of game time. Foden was exactly the same after about 6 or 7 games too as Brahim is now, but it's just one of those things. He's obviously going to be on his way, and it wasn't his best performance tonight despite his efforts, but all that matters is that we are through to the next round, and we see some good performances from some of the young lads today. Garcia can be very proud of himself. He's got a big chance to maybe be the number 4 centre-back next season. Otamendi looks like he could be on his way in the summer. Kompany's not getting any younger. There is a gap there. I'm sure we will sign a more senior centre-back, but that 4th spot, it could be his, and Pep obviously rates him, and rightfully so. And Muric, in my personal opinion, is more than capable of being number 2 next season. Some very Edison-esque moments from today. Although personally I suspect he'll go on loan because he needs that crucial game time that he won't get as a number 2 very often. But in general, it wasn't a great display, but we got through. We do tend to have these bitty, niggly displays after we've made this many changes. Hopefully we can iron that out, but all that matters, as I said, is we're through to the semi-finals. Let me know what you think of the game, guys, and below. And all these names going down the side of the screen, as ever, my patrons are all absolute heroes. I want to give a big shout out as well to Josh McGee, the latest $10 patron. Josh, thank you very much. Get your questions in for the December Q&A there. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. I've been Stephen. Like this video, subscribe if you're new to this channel. In a bit.